gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint, where the truth always matters. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative. I am your trusted source for hard-hitting conservative news. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Good evening, Patriots. Welcome to another episode of the Conservative Viewpoint. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative. Tonight, we will dive deep into the issues that matters most to you. On tonight's episode, we will tackle a topic that has been the forefront of our national conversation, the southern border bloodbath crisis. The situation on our southern border is more than just a political talking point. It's a matter of national security, economic stability, and humanitarian concern. Every day, thousands of individuals cross our border seeking a better life or to cause havoc, but also challenging our resources and laws. This influx has led to a strain on our border communities, an increase in illegal activity, and a surge in human trafficking, drug smuggling, terrorist organizations coming in and setting up shop in the United States. But amidst these challenges, we see the resilience, determination of our Border Patrol agents, local law enforcement, and community leaders who work tirelessly to maintain order and safety. Their dedication is a testament to the American spirit, one that refuses to back down in the face of adversity. Tonight, we'll explore the latest developments, including installed President Biden's recent executive action aimed to tighten border security, which did nothing to tighten the border. It was all for show and votes. We'll discuss the implications of these policies, the ongoing debates in Congress, and what this means for the future of our nation. As we dive into the critical issue, let's remember that securing our borders is not just about keeping people out. It's about protecting the integrity of our nation and ensuring that those who seek to join our great country do so legally and safely. It's about upholding the rule of law and the values that protect America, the land of opportunity, and protect the citizens of this great country. So buckle up, stay tuned as we navigate the complexities of the southern border crisis, and together we'll uncover the truth, challenge the narrative, and stand firm in our commitment to a secure and prosperous America. So welcome to the Conservative Viewpoint. The show begins now. Hi, everyone. There's Vic. Hi, Vic. William, Alan. How you guys doing? Kurt, I see Kurt there. Daniel, how you guys doing tonight? Glad to see you made it. Well, it is Thursday, August 8th, 2024. It's almost a weekend, guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And we had a great night last night in chat. We always do. We have great people when Wimpkin here, and everybody gets involved and lets their opinions known. And we try to solve problems. That's what we do here. We try to solve issues that's going on around this country because we sure the hell don't have a government that's going to solve them for us. So I'm glad you guys stopped by. And stay tuned because it's going to be a hell of a show. Virginia governor signed that executive order. Okay, thanks, Vic. I saw right before we come on here, and I sent Violent Vixen 29 a message because you never know what's true on here, but she found out that the Virginia's governor signed an executive order to make all ballots paper ballots, which is awesome. First one to take control of these elections. And you need more people like him. That was Youngkin. And it's about time somebody does something for us. And that was best thing I could have heard right there. Alan, what's going on, man? But we're going to start off with, I'm going to start us off right today. We're going to start off, and you guys might have saw this, but Trump put a new ad out with Ronald Reagan narrating it. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm going to show you to you now. This is awesome.
Please welcome President Ronald Reagan, who has a few questions for you.
All of you will go to the polls, who stand there in the polling place and make a decision. I think when you make that decision, it might be well if you would ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is it easier for you to go and buy things in the stores than it was 4 years ago? Is there more or less unemployment in the country than there was 4 years ago? Is America as respected throughout the world as it was? Do you feel that our security is as safe, that we're as strong as we were 4 years ago? If you don't think that this course that we've been on for the last 4 years is what you would like to see us follow for the next 4, then I could suggest another choice that you have.
President Trump. He'll make America great again.
Ronald Reagan was one of a kind. A great man, great president. Just like Trump. And I love that. Or that ad that he put out. What's going on, John, Aaron? How you doing, guys? Thank you for stopping in. Now, I'm gonna. I guess you're gonna laugh at this one too. This one, it makes me think, and I just added these about an hour ago. This just makes me think that Trump definitely has to debate Kamala Harris. She can't handle pressure. And Kamala gets heckled by Trump supporters at her rally. Take a look at this.
Look, if he is elected, Donald Trump intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. He intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He intends to surrender our fight against the climate crisis, and he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. You know what? If you want Donald Trump to win, then say that, otherwise I'm speaking.
She's a fucking idiot. I can't help it. Hi, Tammy. She can't handle the pressure, so you know what? She's going to lose it on Trump because she's not going to be able to handle it. This is going to show the real her. She is so pathetic. It's unreal. I just can't help myself. This is awesome. But I saw that, and you know what Trump's going to do to her on a debate stage? Supposedly, they agreed to three debates in September. September 10th is supposed to be the first one, and Trump agreed to the debate with ABC. So we'll see what happens. I will stream it live. So make sure you guys tune in to me. And we'll talk about it in chat as they're talking because I think it's going to be hilarious. And it could be the end of Kamala Harris as we know it because I don't think the Democrats will pause in a second to get rid of her if they're allowed. I don't know. But I just think Trump's going to destroy her. So I hope it works out. But remember, Monday, though, and I'll remind you guys later, Monday is supposed to be Trump and Elon Musk. I am going to, as soon as they tell us the time, I do want to stream that live too. So hopefully we'll get some answers here real soon and find out what time that's going to go off on Monday. But I am going to stream that live also. So I'll put an ad out if I get it early enough and remind you guys when it's going to be and what time we're going to go live. So we might just replace Monday's show with that. So, and we'll talk about it afterwards if it doesn't go on for, a couple hours or anything like that. So, all right, let's get started off tonight with Biden. Says he's not confident in a peaceful transfer of power if Trump loses. Now, I'm telling you, Trump loses, but this video is going to show you something different. And you want to listen to it very carefully because this is where the truth comes out. Take a look at it.
Meantime, the current US President Joe Biden says he's not confident there will be a peaceful transfer of power if Donald Trump loses. In his first TV interview since exiting the race, the president spoke with CBS News chief election correspondent Robert Costa about the election campaign. He says the US doesn't take Trump's threats seriously.
If Trump wins, no, I'm not confident at all. I mean, if Trump loses, I'm not confident at all. He means what he says. We don't take him seriously. He means it. All the stuff about if we lose, there'll be a bloodbath. It's have to be a stolen election. Look what they're trying to do now in the local election districts where people count the votes. They're elected, they're putting people in place in states that they're going to count the votes, right? You can't love your country only when you win.
So that's just a snippet of that interview. The full interview is...
Now, did you catch what he said? If he wins, he's not confident there's going to be a good transfer of power. That's what he meant. And then they must have corrected him. He must have had an earpiece in or something, and he had to change it. Did you notice that? Rowdy, welcome, bud. Nice to see you. Yeah, I think we're talking about Glenn Youngkin, the Virginia governor, changing the paper ballots. He's the best thing he could have done. You can't cheat on that because they're going to be right there in front of you, unless you're going to have fraudulent ones. And then there's some ways they can do them, like, the $100 bill or something with that bar mark or whatever. But that's the best way. They're right in front of you. You read them. Nobody can throw nothing away. If you throw them away, you're busted. You go to prison. Period. All right, let me get rid of that moron off of here. So you saw what he said. The truth hurts. Well, and unlike Trump, he did leave when he was supposed to, just like the Democrats were saying that he wouldn't leave. They're going to problem with Trump ain't going to leave the White House. He had no problem. He left like he would have, like the man that he is. But everybody fights the election results. And we all know there's fraud, which we see hearings all the time of Democrats being arrested for voter fraud. Well, if you got one voter fraud in any state, that whole state should be wiped out, and it should be another election held. One, there's two. Two, there's three. It's just keep on going. It doesn't matter, because if you know there's one or two or whatever, you know there's going to be more. So this is the stuff that has to change in our elections. And the Democrats want to control it. That's why they're letting all these illegal criminals in. If we can put serial numbers on every bill, we can put a serial number on every ballot. Exactly right, John. Exactly right. So this next one, we want to, with Kamala Harris's culture influence on foreign policy. Well, she has no foreign policy. She's never been, she has no policy whatsoever. She's been riding the coattail of Joe Biden's failed policies for all these years. And if any of you liberals out there could sit there and tell me any policies that she has, please do. I want to hear them, because she does have none. So take a look at this video about that. What the hell is that? I got another one, but I don't know what that is, but we'll find out here in a second. Watch this.
Congressman Pat Fallon, Republican from Texas, joins me now. Congressman, Republicans are, it seems to me, are solidly behind Israel, unlike a divided Democrat Party. Is that an accurate statement? Republicans are united behind Israel?
Stuart, I think you nailed it perfectly. There is not one GOP member of Congress that I'm aware of that isn't a staunch supporter of the only democracy in the Middle East and our greatest ally in the region. Unfortunately, on the Democratic side of the ledger, you're absolutely right. They are divided. I mean, the Vice President of the United States is not going to attend when the Prime Minister of Israel gives a speech to the joint session of Congress?
It's her first foreign policy foray, isn't it? The first foreign policy move of her candidacy. That's it. And look what she's done.
Yeah, well, you know what? She could have shown statesmanship, or as the liberals would say, stateswomanship. Don't want to get them angry, Stuart. But I mean, she didn't, and she punted on it, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, see, she has nothing to work off of. She's got Biden's failed policies, everything that's failed these past 4 years. That's all she has. Now I'm going to show you Obama. I know you guys are going to go crazy over this, but they used watermark ballots in 2020. Well, that we had those computer sheets and they had those barcodes on the side that they ran through the computer. I don't know if those had watermarks or not, but they were fixed too. The computers were changing votes, so that didn't even matter if they had watermarks or not. And John and they got their mail-in ballots. Funny how they say not enough fraud changes results. Well, any fraud should not be allowed. Exactly right, Alan. One fraud should wipe out the whole thing. It doesn't matter. I don't care what these people. That's because they want to keep going, and we see it every day. Ever since 2020, we've heard different people getting arrested for voter fraud. They showed ballots that have been thrown away by the postal workers. Nothing got done. So this was the corruption at the highest levels where that's why nothing got done. Mike Lindell told people to get their mail-in ballots and don't use it, bring it to the polls. Exactly. People are just damn lazy. Democrats are ruled by Islamists. Obama hates Israel. Exactly. And that's why I'm going to show you how Obama lays out exactly how they are planning to cheat again. Take a look at this.
You just have to flood a country's public square with enough raw sewage. You just have to raise enough questions, spread enough dirt, plant enough conspiracy theorizing that citizens no longer know what to believe. Once they lose trust in their leaders, in mainstream media, in political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth, the game's won.
So he just put it right there. He shows exactly how they done it. And this is what we're seeing every day, right? So how can you not see what's going on in this country? It's unreal, right? Now we've got an investigation going on into the top fundraising platform for Kamala Harris called Act Blue. Something funny is going on with that. But they're pushing this investigation, something about legality behind it and the verification that they have to go through and show where this money's coming from, and they're not showing it. Oh, damn it. And I'm sure, they're going to find out something shortly, probably after the November election. But what's the purpose then? Because nothing will happen. So there won't be no answers. Nobody will be held accountable. That's what happens. So this is something that has to be stopped. If there's corruption in this place, they need to shut them down. They need to hold people accountable. People need to go to jail, period. Madeline, how you doing, Madeline? I got to make sure I catch everybody. Yeah, it's supposed to be a federal crime, Alan, but doesn't seem like anybody gets charged up with that, especially when it's an election fraud and federal law messing with people's mail. Nothing gets done. Yes, Vic, you're right. He is a piece of fucking shit dingleberry. I can't, and I voted for him the first time. I know that's bad on me. Don't hate me. I did the first time. That's the only time. That racist pig. Exactly right, Rowdy. But let's move on to Walls a little bit here. And his lewd joke about J.D. Vance during VP pick has debuted sparks mixed reactions. Well, when I read this and watched this video, I didn't find it a bit funny. But so I don't know if it was a joke, but you guys be the judge of this. Take a look at this.
Walz's lewd joke about J.D. Vance during VP pick debut sparks mixed reactions. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has emerged as Kamala Harris' running mate in the race for the White House. The announcement, made Tuesday, sent shockwaves through the political landscape and set the stage for a fiery campaign season. Already, he and Harris have thrown jabs at their 2024 election opponents, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Walz made his debut alongside Harris at a packed rally in Philadelphia, where thousands gathered at Temple University's Liacouras Center. The energy was palpable as the newly minted duo took the stage, with Walz declaring, "I couldn't be prouder to be on this ticket, and to help make Kamala Harris the next president of the United States." Wasting no time, Walz went on the offensive against the Republican opposition. He took aim at Donald Trump, asserting that the former president doesn't know the first thing about service, and is too busy serving himself. In a particularly pointed jab, Walz claimed that violent crimes have increased under Trump's watch, adding, "That's not even counting the crimes he's committed." The governor didn't stop there. He targeted Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance, quipping that he's eager to debate him if he's willing to get off the couch and show up. Daily Mail noted that this remark, alluding to a controversial and unsubstantiated story about Vance, drew raucous laughter from the crowd. The Vance couch controversy surrounds a now-debunked claim that the GOP VP nominee previously wrote about having sex with an inside-out latex glove shoved between two couch cushions in his 2016 memoir.
Did you guys find that funny? I did not. This dude is a joke. Needs to go back to Minnesota or wherever the hell he came from, ruining it, and hide, and should never show his face again because he's a little coward. Hello, Lee. What's up, man? Glad to see you, man. Now, but we're not done with little old Tim Tampon idiot guy, coward. The Minnesota National Guard disputes Walz's military biography, and everybody's showing this. I've watched many of different podcasts today that have showed these and yesterday and stuff, but it's just a point that he lied. The stolen valor is true. It is true. And he should not show his face. That's pretty pathetic. Now, I'm going to let you watch his first video about this from the National Guard, I believe it is. Let me make sure this is the right one for. Well, this is we saw that one. That was the lewd comment one. Let me do this. This one is, what's her name? Shit. Well, you just guys got to watch this. Take a look.
Here's the headline. Former National Guardsman, Tim Walz is misleading the public about his time in service. I'm going to read you some excerpts. Walz often refers to his military service as he campaigns for governor. However, former members of the Minnesota National Guard are raising concerns over the discrepancies in his story, saying he's misleading the public about it. Tim Walz has embellished, this is a quote, and selectively omitted facts and circumstances of his military career for years, said Thomas Behrens, a retired command sergeant major for the Minnesota National Guard. Walz, 54, this is back in 18, joined the Army National Guard when he was 17, completing 20 years of service. And then in 2001, just days after 9/11, Walz re-enlisted in the Minnesota Army National Guard. He then retired 4 years later in 2005, ostensibly to run for Congress. Okay, so far we're wondering what's wrong with any of this. Behrens says Walz did serve a long and honorable career, but it is his story surrounding his service post 9/11 that raises red flags. The discrepancies start with how long he re-enlisted for. They say, okay, in 2006, as Walz was amid his first campaign for Congress, questions were raised about the timing of his retirement. You see, Walz's sudden retirement after learning that his unit would be deployed to Iraq is what is under scrutiny. He allegedly re-enlisted for another 6 years, which would have taken him well past the time of being they were trying to deploy him. He would have had to stay. He would have had to go and be deployed. And suddenly he got out of it a couple of years early. And what they say is that he quickly retired after learning that his unit, Southern Minnesota's 1-125 FA Battalion, would be sent to Iraq.
Now, I cut this video off because what the other part that I wanted to get was going to take too long to get to, but they said that these documents that she was talking about, that she got this information from, was from the military, the National Guard files, that shows that Walls lied about his military career. Plus, he was not a sergeant major. When he left, he got demoted. So that's a lie. So there are two when he keeps telling people, and I saw him in many of the commercials and stuff that he has been on, that he keeps calling himself a sergeant major. He wasn't. He was bumped down to master sergeant. So you military guys out there watching, is he stealing a valor when he tells people that he's a sergeant, or when he was a when he was a sergeant major and he wasn't? Is that part of stealing a valor or not? I do not have a clue. So let me know, you guys, if you know the answer to that, because the stolen valor is true, and he should be ashamed. He should not be able to show his face in there. And wait a minute, where's it at? It was, Alan said he signed a bill for gender reassignment surgery for minors, no parent supervision. What was also in this bill, Alan, was if the parents refused, they were arrested. Oh, yeah, they're going to arrest a parent if their 10-year-old or 5-year-old or 7-year-old said they wanted to cut off, or they want one added or whatever. They're going to arrest the parents for this. That's criminal. And something's got to be done about this, guys. We cannot let this go. This is the kind of shit that's going on. You've got mental health coming out of the woodwork because of these people. This is shit that we have to stop. Cool. Thanks, Lee. But, I mean, I think wouldn't that be like falsifying yourself, or what's that called? He bailed after 20 years, but was about to deploy. Exactly. Like yesterday's video that I showed, the numbers don't add up with him. And there's just so much wrong with this guy. And I see everybody asking the question, do you think that he's going to bail because of all this shit with the stolen valor and stuff? Because all of his crew from there are coming out against him. He was training to be a sergeant major. He quit before he finished. The time required to pay back the investment in training program that he agreed to. And Daniel, but he sits there and tells everybody in all these talks and stuff that he does, and the commercials he was in and stuff when he was campaigning, that he was a sergeant major. He never says that he was a master sergeant, which they demoted him to. So I would consider that still stealing of valor, right? Because I don't see how that's right. You're calling yourself, you're not. I mean, if you're a general, or if you're a captain and you're calling yourself a general, isn't that impersonating an officer or something like that? I think that would be the same thing, right? Okay. Well, we'll try to get the answer to that, but he's still a piece of shit. Hey, that's pretty cool, Vic. I like that. That's fancy. All right, well, let's get on here. Let me remove her. Okay, now, I forgot about this, but Dan Bongino warned Donald Trump about the top Secret Service official. I'm just going to let Dan tell you himself. So take a look at this video talking about the apocalyptic failure of Trump's shooting. Take a look at this.
You have one job, and only one job. Your job is keep the body alive, no matter what. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Jill Biden, the president of Djibouti, it doesn't matter. That is your job. They absolutely, resolutely, 100% failed. Not a single excuse should be made. Not a single excuse should be attempted. This should be the subject of congressional hearings and investigations, because if they can't do this, and this is the best technology you had, then folks, there's no purpose anymore. This was an apocalyptic security failure. And don't ever forget, an uneventful failure is never a success. And the fact that Donald Trump didn't die yesterday is no reason for anybody to take some kind of victory lap. And before we start sending out plaudits, we better look and do a hot wash on this and find out exactly how abysmal this security plan was.
Now, this guy's great, and you know he has got a lot of experience with the Secret Service and being a cop and everything like that. And they did ask him on a recent interview if he would take FBI director. And he said he'd never thought about it, but if Donald Trump himself would ask, and they're friends anyways, would ask him to, he probably would. And that would be a great match, that's for sure. Chatley, welcome to the show, bud. And she'd rather be a pharaoh than a czar. Yeah, no kidding. That's great. His hoe is a yes, Vic, she is. He's still served, but he's still left-wing Looney Tune too. Oh, yeah. This guy's a piece of work. And I don't know if he'll stick around or not. If he gets enough heat, he may. So we'll have to wait and see on that one too. He signed a contract to stay in for a certain amount of time before they agreed to provide the training. He didn't fulfill that agreement. So that means he's allowed to use the rank. And because he was still using it here recently when he got asked by Kamala to do this stuff. Billy Bob, what's up, man? So that just gets me. But either way, he's a piece of dirt and he should go. So this is just, I was talking about earlier when these people criticized me for saying the apocalypse is coming. And people got to read the meaning of apocalypse before running their mouths. I'm sick and tired of these liberals running their mouth before they know what the hell they're talking about. So idiots, learn how to open a book. Now this one, because of all the fake news media, is sitting there saying Trump's panicking because of Kamala Harris's VP pick. Please, this Walz guy is a disaster, and Trump has nothing to fear with this guy. J.D. Vance will chew him up and spit him out on the debate stage, and I can't wait till that happens. And it better happens, because this guy's going to get chewed up. And with Vance being a Marine, a real Marine, and he's going to take it to him about the stolen valor every chance he gets. You know he will, and he should. The man's a piece of dirt. But like Harris, they'll probably hide him in the basement too, and don't let him talk or answer any questions or anything like that. So, but Trump released his first statement when she announced this miserable piece of shit that she made. And I want you to take a look at that real quick.
Let's bring in Rachel Scott with the first reaction from the Trump campaign. Rachel?
Yeah, we're just getting word in from Donald Trump's campaign and also from the former president and his allies saying, quote, even worse than dangerously liberal and crooked Kamala Harris. That's the reaction to this news that we are now reporting, that Harris is picking Governor Tim Walz to be her running mate. Just yesterday, George, the former president Donald Trump was saying quite the opposite. In fact, during an interview, he said that whoever Harris chooses to be her running mate would be better than her. We know that the Trump campaign for days now has really been trying to recalibrate their focus, trying to figure out what exactly their strategy is, because they wanted to run against President Joe Biden. Once President Joe Biden dropped out of the race, they now have tried to figure out what their new line of attack is, not only on Vice President Kamala Harris, but also now on someone who is going to be her running mate. When President Biden was still in the race, we know there was that phone call between Senator J.D. Vance and also Vice President Kamala Harris agreeing to meet once again on the debate stage. We'll have to see what happens with a potential vice presidential debate and whether or not Governor Tim Walz will agree to debate Senator J.D. Vance, Donald Trump's running mate. George.
But this show just shows all the lies that you get from the fake news media. That's why we, like me and all you guys that help me with this show and chat, do to make sure people get the truth. Well, Trump's not scared of anyone. He's definitely smarter than both of these guys put together. Their IQ doesn't probably rate 5 on my fingers. They are dumb as hell. I don't care what you say. So these two, and he's I don't even know what they're right. Only 19 or 20 or something like that. I don't even know. Oh, I said Barron's probably smarter than that. And he's like, what, 19 or 20? I don't even know how old he is. I think he's in college now or something. But Trump's son, Barron, yeah, he's probably smarter than both of them. He could probably take him on a debate stage. Trump says the Walls called him to dissuade the protesters when he let them burn to the ground because he couldn't handle the protesters, and how he's supposed to handle things because he couldn't do it so they could win. And because if they win, they're he's going to be the border czar. So what's going to happen if he ends up being a border czar? You see how we're doing now? We're in trouble. But what could he have said to Kamala Harris to make her want him as a vice president, or even the Democrats to allow her this? The guy is a disgrace, and there's so many scandals blowing out of all of them, both of them. These people, these liberal idiots, can't be that stupid, but obviously they are, because I rolled some panties up in their bunches today. Oh yeah, I did, because we were talking. If you guys are on X and follow me at all, somebody brought up about my pedophile remark that I see some of his actions to some of the pedophiles that I saw in prison. Oh my God. It brought out the crazies. I have been attacked like you would not believe on X. It was funny as hell. And then I just put on there, because if they're protecting these pedophiles, so they are liberal Democrats, the party of pedophilia. So if you're going to comment about me, I'm going to put that on your page. So you better think twice, you idiots. You're going to protect pedophiles that deserve their balls hanging from a noose, then you're going to deserve what you're going to get. And this is the kind of comments that people don't like me saying. And the liberal idiots, and I don't give a shit what they say. So no, he's no worse than Kamala, but no better either. Oh, hell no, he's not better. Morally impaired for Democrats. They all are. You damn right, Alan. I saw something earlier I wanted to say, but I can't remember. Oh, Madeline, right. We can't expect any better from Democrats. We will never get better from Democrats. It is a stolen valor. If he stayed in, he would have retired with the title he claims. And he still claims. He won't even say that he is a retired master sergeant, which that's what he is since they demoted him. So, and I hope they cut his pay too. I hope they cut his retirement. MAGA's in the house. There he is. What's going on, MAGA? Joan. Hi, Joan. Oh, let's see here. Yes, Belichick's a bitch, Madeline. I gotta check chats. I think I'm still having trouble with Twitter. Let me look here real quick. Where's it at? Let me see if they fixed it yet, because I can't even bring up chat or bring up. They fixed it. Now, if you guys are on Twitter, you can make your comments, and I should be able to see them. I'm getting a little bit of it. Up there it comes up. Let me put some remarks in here for real quick. I haven't been able to check on Twitter's comments for like 2 months, and I've been trying to get a hold of them, and they wouldn't get back to me. And I finally got it. You pay enough money for this thing, you expect it to work, and they fixed it. So if you guys make some comments, I can see you now. So that's awesome. And my guys, I call them my Wipcom Warriors. They're awesome. These guys are the best. I did get nothing, Alan. Did you send it to my email? Which, by the way, guys, I asked you the question of the day the other day, and nobody responded. I have got 60 travel mugs to give away. Don't let me down, guys. What is the one thing that I ask you guys at the end of every show? My email's down there. Put your answer there. It's free. No shipping, no nothing. I send you guys something special inside. Ask Tammy. Tammy won the first one. And Pat won the second one, but she said she had a lot of travel mugs. If you guys want it, I'll send you the travel mug, but I got 60 of them to give away. You can't let me hang in here, guys. So if you know the answer, what's the one thing that I always ask you at the end of my show? What to do? I'm going to give you a little clue on that one. What I ask you guys to do. So let me know if you guys get the answer. Email me so I can get your name and your address, and I will ship that out to you right away. I haven't driven yet, so it'll be for my first time driving after my surgery. So let me know here. Let's see. Yeah, Alan, I didn't get anything yet, so well, I'll be looking for it, though. I didn't see that, Billy Bob. I'm going to have to look again because it didn't come through. Billy Bob said he answered it. I will check tonight after I get off of here. And I've got 60 of them, guys, so every day. All right. Yo, Dodge Dart. I know who that is. We'll keep this going, though. And I will check on that, and I will get back to you. I use mine every day. Thanks, Tammy. That's awesome to hear. But I'm going to be doing another question of the day here. Probably not Friday, but we'll probably wait till next week. And I've got some new ones. I got a whole case of them. You guys will like it. All right. Now, we don't take polls seriously because there's polls out there that says, Trump's ahead. In New York, believe it or not, over here's. And, but we don't take them too serious. We use them as a guide. We don't want to be down in the polls either, which, of course, a lot of ones you see now are made up from the fake news media. And they're showing that Kamala Harris is ahead by a point here or there, whatever. So this is just things that they're making up to try to get these idiot liberals to believe what they're saying. I don't know how we can tell them the truth. We show them the truth, everything with the videos and everything for their own words, not just out of my mouth, so they believe what's going on, and they still don't believe it. How stupid are these people? I just don't get it. But we've got to do what we can do, no matter what, because it's so pathetic that they do what they want to win, and we know it's fake. It's a never-ending conundrum of lies with these people, and that's something we've got to change. And we try to do it on here with everything that we talk about. We get answers for people, and they don't listen. So I have a problem with that, and we got to keep trying. We're counting down the days faster than ever. And the worst part about it is I hate winter. And that means November coming around. That means cold weather. My bones don't handle that no more. So, oh, shit, we got to do that. Kamala ahead in the polls equals fake news. Exactly right, MAGA. We can't be complacent. Get out and vote. Exactly right, Lee. This is the biggest thing that we can't stress this enough. Everybody, and I use Dan's rules, Dan Bongino's rules, 10. Take 10 people with you. Email 10 people. Text 10 people. Whatever you can. Get them registered. We've got to do it because the 10 that we register, the Democrats are registering 20 illegals or 20 dead people on top of the 10 that we take. But we got to make sure people know that this is serious. And all you got to do is look around. It's not something just because I say it's serious. All you have to do is be awake and see what's going on in this country. That this is the most serious thing going on ever, because we will lose this country. I guarantee you. Now, Trump says that he heard that Joe Biden will take back the nominee. We talked about this yesterday at the DNC because it was stolen by him. Now, I really haven't heard anything about it, and we've only got couple weeks here before it comes off. So, but Dan Bongino did talk about it and said Biden's pissed because they took his nominee away from him and that he heard that it could happen. But I just don't believe it. And I believe everything that Dan says because Dan has some good inside sources and stuff, because of working at the White House and all over the place in Baltimore and with the Secret Service and NYPD and all that stuff. But I'm still having a hard time believing it because Joe Biden is gone. He's shot out. And I don't know, but in the next few weeks, we're going to hear something. If you guys heard anything about it in your state, wherever you guys are from, let me know because I just find it hard to believe that Joe Biden would do it. If anyone would say something like that, that would be Jill because she doesn't want to lose the power. And yes, Lee, our future as a nation depends on it. It's just after when they started bashing me about pedophiles, that just proved to me how bad these people are. Because I don't care when they did their gay rights parade, and I think I talked about this the other day, and they were walking naked down the street in front of kids. That has nothing to do with being gay. That is pedophilia. Period. They should have been arrested right there on the spot and thrown in prison. Being gay on the streets in front of kids has nothing to do with your sexuality. I'm sorry. You can be gay all you want. I don't give two shits. But that shit is not about being gay. You're disgusting pigs. If I'd have saw that, somebody would have been laying out cold in the street. I'm telling you now. That is disgusting. And then when the one guy that they videotaped or they interviewed, there was little kids walking around him and everything just hanging out, the fat bastard. And that disgusts me. That's the worst thing you can show me is pedophiles. I tell you what. And it's hard for me, especially working in a prison, because we had to protect these guys. Those guys, if we saw somebody trying to hurt them or assault them in any way, sexually or whatever, we had to stop them. We had to protect these guys in prison. And that was the hardest part about being in that prison. I don't care if I had to fight 10 inmates. That part is the hardest part about it. I told you about the Muslims that threatened me, which wasn't a threat. I didn't take it as a threat. He just told me he'd kill me if he saw me on the street because I was a white man. That was the hardest part about all of it. So it was disgusting. I can't stand it, and I'm glad I'm retired. I'd probably be dead or fired, one or the two. Just checking my tax or whatever is coming through. What are we going to go on? I don't want to miss any of my comments here, guys. The Democrats are going to turn their backs on the illegal immigrants after the election. Well, of course, Kurt, because if they don't win, they're going to turn their backs on them. Because then they're useless, and they're going to find out too. And I think they're finding out now because they want more. These idiot criminals, illegal criminals coming across, living in a high-rise hotel, saying they're not getting enough stuff. They want more stuff. But they're assaulting people, murdering people, shooting at cops, everything, committing every crime imaginable. Where was it at? Oh, Colorado gave them. How did they say it? I don't know if you guys saw this, but if we got anybody in from Colorado in here, said they were given permission to shoot at the cops in Colorado. And it wasn't in those words, and I can't remember what it was. I don't know if it's in tomorrow's show or not. I just threw a bunch of stuff in the file. I haven't even really gone through it yet. But if you guys heard about that, let me know, because that like blew my mind when they were given permission to shoot at cops in Colorado. That just doesn't sound right. Right? But all right, let's get on to this. J.D. Vance, Newsmax, says, Walsh, there's no moderator. Voters won't be fooled. Well, some of them will be fooled, like they're liberal sheep that's watching them. So, but take a look at this. Vance talking about Walz. I want you to take a look at this video.
Joining me now, the man who will face off on stage with Tim Walz any day now, Republican VP nominee, Senator from Ohio, and fellow serviceman J.D. Vance, who was in Philadelphia today on a campaign stop. Sir, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Carl. Good to be with you. Well, look, I don't really know much about Tim Walz.
But, sir, they are trying, like, he's actually trying to paint himself as some moderate guy to offset Kamala's California record. Is that going to work?
I don't think it's going to work at all. I mean, look, people are going to look at his record just as they're going to look at Kamala Harris's record. And, in fact, he maybe is even more of a liberal than she is, if that's even humanly possible. You know, this is a guy who says that he stands for working people. Well, I know what working people need is they need good jobs, and that's not going to happen if you destroy the American energy sector and ship all of our manufacturing jobs off to China, but that's exactly what Tim Walz has tried to do. I know that working people really suffer when illegal aliens bring fentanyl into the communities and drive down the working class wages, but Tim Walz has been all in on the open borders agenda of the Democrat Party. So this is a guy who they're going to say he looks like a moderate, he talks like a moderate. I don't think that's true at all.
Yeah, he's definitely no moderate. He's not even close. This dude is a liberal socialist dirtbag, and I really can't believe the Democrats let this go. And I'm not – this is something for me to say this, but Josh Shapiro would have been better, and I can't stand Josh Shapiro. He continues to ruin Pennsylvania, and because – I mean, I say continue because it was already ruined when he took over. So he's just following Wolf's coattail on this one and running with it. So, but he's a dirtbag too. But at least they would have probably got the Jews vote with Shapiro, and that's just what gets me because this guy is an idiot, and I just don't know why they would do it. Let me get rid of that now. Now, yeah, these guys were right. I wanted to read you guys this one. When I was talking about this, the shooting about the cops, they were right. Lee, John, and Daniel. There was a gang. MS-13, it could have been Venezuelan or Cuban gang. I knew you guys were right. It was a gang. And then they took over an apartment complex in Colorado. And I remember seeing that part too in that article. I read so many damn articles, I get things mixed up with other ones if I don't write it down and watch it. So, but that is right. But how do you give somebody permission to shoot at our police? We shoot back in this country. So that's what needs to start happening. Yeah, right. Exactly, Lee. Wolf was a piece of shit. He left his company open during COVID and shut everybody else down. Put COVID patients in with old people in nursing homes, killed all those old people in those nursing homes. It was a dirtball piece of shit. And that's the ones that's taken my money from me in about 5 years, or taken part of my money, but that's for another time. Anyways, now here's another issue that, thanks to the Biden-Harris administration and the topic of the advertisement today, Homeland Security Agency warns agents that Iran proxies may try to cross border to attack the United States. Now, these are more. Well, I told myself that I'm going to let you guys watch the video first, and then we'll talk about it after that. So take a look at this.
So the State Department has designated the following 4 countries as state sponsors of terror: Cuba, Iran, North Korea, and Syria. Since October 1st, hundreds of individuals from these 4 countries alone have entered the United States that we know of. In September, it was more than 1,000 been encountered by Border Patrol from those 4 countries labeled as state sponsors of terror by our country. A memo from the San Diego Border Patrol Intelligence Division just this past Friday warned of Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists crossing the border. Here's the warning went out Friday. Foreign fighters of Israel-Hamas conflict may potentially be encountered at the southwest border.
This bloodbath border crisis and the blood of Americans being killed every day because of fentanyl, the assaults, the murders, whatever, is on Biden and Harris's hands. When you're here and hear her lies and bullshit about when she becomes president, she'll fix the border. Well, what the hell is she doing now? Why doesn't she fix it now? And most of these people, Laken Riley would have never died. All these people would have never been assaulted. Cops wouldn't be shot at if she would have done her fucking job. And that's what pisses me off the most, too. She's going to say she's going to fix the border only if she becomes president. Are you kidding me? This is the Democrats' plan designed to ruin this country, to gain the trust of these sheep that follow them so they can get their votes. But, MAGA Waltz is a commie piece of shit. And I can't believe he shows his face with this. Lee Wolf is no different than Charles Manson. But Tammy's right, though. Tammy said he was not alone in these killing sprees. He was definitely not. There's a lot of other people involved in this, too. But he is was the head of our government. And I do not like the Democrats or him, or they screwed me over too bad. If Camel Toe wins, that there will be a surge of Muslims like we've never seen before. Do you guys see what's going on in London? Do we want our country looking like that? These people think they're going to bring Sharia whatever, their bullshit laws to our country. That ain't going to happen. I'm telling you what, these Muslims are dragging people out of their cars and everything. And, oh my God, you don't come near my truck. I got a brand new diesel truck. You touch my truck, you're going down. Either run over or something. Nobody going to touch my truck. What's going on in the Middle East is only a matter of time before Iran activates terrorist cells that are already here in America. Exactly right. And we know they're here. They know they're here, that they do nothing about it. So what's that tell you, people? Barracks is a stain from here, too. The dead is pedophile. The dead is Bachi. I don't think we should have anything to do with any country that allows this leader. Oh, yeah, of their country. Exactly right. It shouldn't be allowed in America. And we have them too, Madeline. That's the bad part. We have terrorist sympathizers within our government eating up our government from the inside out. And that is the worst part about it. But that brings me to this. Cori Bush, what do you guys think? Oh, my God. This was the best thing I could have seen. Cori Bush got canned from her job, but she went crazy. And I want you to listen to her yourself. Listen to this.
Because see, now I don't have to worry about some strings that I have attached to, as much as I love my job. But all they did was radicalize me, and so now they need to be afraid. See, now they about to see this other Cori, this other side, because let me say this. I just grew up a whole lot more over the last few weeks. Just grew up a whole different way.
Oh, Bagney, go back to the hood. She grow up shit. And I can't stand her. And she's down and out, and I love it. And you couldn't be happier for this. So, MAGA, I'm agreeing with you on this. CC, I checked my email and resent it. All right, Billy Bob, I will check that. Billy Bob, our MAGA says this shit is going to blow up here, and I pray it's not. He says he's praying he's wrong, but we will all see why these bastards rigged the 2020 election to destroy America. Exactly right. And I hope it does not come down to that, but I will protect myself with every ounce of my being. So even though I got a back surgery, it doesn't help. It doesn't mess with this. So I'm not going to have that around my family or my friends or anyone. So we do need to keep our eyes open, guys. We got too many terrorists that came in here because of this. Oh, okay, Vic. I want to hurry get up through here so you guys see this. Tells you to buy more ammo. I load my own, Madeline, so I got plenty on one, and I got enough on my AR, so I'm all right. Right now, I'm all right. Oh, I love it, Tammy. Don't you love it? That's awesome. She's gone. We got like 6 or 8 more. I don't know how many. I can't remember now, but we got to get them all out. Mr. Fire Trigger guy, he's gone already, so we don't have to worry about them either. She can hang with the fire alarm pole. Exactly right, Tammy. We had this conversation before, haven't we? Oh, yeah. Amen. Yep, that's right. So, all right, what do I got? I got one last thing here, guys, so I don't keep you too long. And that is about the Georgia elections. They seek new investigation into Fulton County's handling of, yes, you heard me right, the 2020 election. Now, we all know there's been fraud in probably every election ever, but this one was the one that most blatant about it and uncontested ever. I want you to take a look at this video real quick.
Developments this morning involving Georgia's presidential election, and we're not talking about the one that's coming up in November. Right. We're talking about the one from 2020. Our state's election board has voted to ask Georgia's attorney general to reinvestigate Fulton County's vote tally.
So Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm is live in downtown Atlanta. Rebecca, how did this come about?
Well, Lana and Brooks, the state elections board leans heavily to the right, so much so that former President Donald Trump praised its 3 Republican members at his rally last weekend here in Atlanta. One of those members actually attended the rally. Take a look. Her name is Dr. Janice Johnston. She is a retired obstetrician who was appointed to the board by the Georgia Republican Party. She made a motion yesterday for Attorney General Chris Carr to reopen an inquiry of Fulton County's 2020 vote count, an inquiry that was already closed in May. The resolution says if Carr doesn't act, the board will try to hire an outside lawyer to conduct the inquiry. The board's chair pointed out that this move would likely be met with a lawsuit, but still, the Republican-heavy board approved the measure. Keep in mind, there have already been 3 vote counts that showed former President Trump lost Georgia by about 12,000 votes in 2020. Still, Trump continues to say at every rally he holds, including the one here in Atlanta last weekend, that the 2020 election was stolen. Prior investigations have shown that Fulton County was disorganized and that there were human errors, but not enough to overturn the results. Now, Fulton County's elections board considers this case closed. We will be watching today to see how the Attorney General responds to this request to reopen the investigation.
They don't consider it closed. This twit, I don't know who the hell she is, but they don't consider it closed. They wouldn't be pressing the issue, but they said that Georgia is dominated by Republicans, and then she said they had to sway the 3 Republicans there. She doesn't make any sense, but there was enough proof when this happened, and it was like 100,000 votes, and he only lost by 12,000, and so many of these votes are missing. There was over 300,000 in the first investigation that was missing, that they never showed up for the investigations they asked for. So right there's more than 12,000, this dumb twit. She shouldn't even have a job. But Lee, you're right. The Republicans who side with this bullshit need to be removed also. This is what I was talking about earlier. The small amount of people, the fraud that we've seen that's been proven, but nothing gets done. That is a problem to me. So, all right, guys, that's all the time we have for tonight. Want to thank you for joining me in chat. We had another great night. I see that great conversations in here, guys. If it wasn't for you guys, I couldn't do this show. You guys make me want to come back every day to do this. So thank you very much. This is the time I ask you to check out my Wimpkin page, my Rumble page, my X page, all under Country Conservative, guys. Don't forget to follow me. I'm trying to bump up my numbers so we can get people out here and see and hear the truth, because November's real close. Don't forget my Facebook page is Charlie Brown. If you guys want to follow me there, send me a friend's request. I know who most of you guys are in here. Jamal, I didn't see you, buddy. Sorry. Hi. Follow me on Facebook if you want. But I do most of my stuff here now on Wimpkin because we got the best people. I'm trying to bump up my numbers in Twitter on watchers, and it's looking like I have a few more tonight. But you can't beat the crew that we got in Wimpkin. So you guys got to get it into Wimpkin, WIMKIN. Download the app, whatever, get on. I have a desktop here, so you can get in there, subscribe, share everything, guys. It'll help me out, and You guys will love it. Trust me, we have a blast in here every night. So 5 days a week. So, all right, as we wrap up tonight's episode of the Conservative Viewpoint, let's take a moment to reflect on the gravity of the southern border crisis and the resilience of our nation. We dove into the complexities and challenges that are unwavering spirit of those on the front lines. A southern border is not just a line on a map, it's a gateway of our nation's future. It's where our values of law, order, and compassion intersect. While the road ahead may be fraught with difficulties, it's also paved with the opportunities to reform, to unify, and progress. Remember, the strength of America lies in our ability to confront challenges head on, to debate passionately, and to strive for the solutions that uphold our principles. And as we continue this journey, let's stay informed, stay engaged, and stay committed to the ideals that make our country great. Thank you for joining me tonight, guys. Keep the conversation going, stay vigilant, and never lose the sight of the bigger picture. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you for tuning into the Conservative Viewpoint. See you tomorrow night, guys. Good night, and God bless America. See you, guys. Thanks, guys. I'll see you